Hello everyone, my name is Lachlan. I write for Monday Morning and I'm also an analyst on Exponential Stock Investor. Now today will be a bit of a crypto special. I will discuss yesterday's article for a bit of context and then move into a look at some recent crypto headlines, the BTC chart and the US dollar chart. So let's dive in. So today I've got up yesterday's article. I talk about the Ant Group IPO, which will be the biggest IPO ever. And it's going to absolutely dwarf Goldman Sachs in size, so 4 times bigger than Goldman Sachs, and making it also bigger than JP Morgan Chase & Co. Now, I'll pivot quickly to a discussion of what JP Morgan Chase & Co. are doing. They're launching something called JPM Coin, which is a sort of it's an attempt to, I guess, evolve their business to something more than just traditional banking. And you can read up more on this on CoinDesk. So there's a CoinDesk article. And then the other thing that's happening, especially with Bitcoin, is there was a big move by Square. So Square put 1% of their total assets in Bitcoin, and that was a $50 million purchase. So I'll just show you quickly what happened to the BTC chart. This is the BTC US dollar pair. So you can see the Square purchase and then the PayPal move, which I'll get to in just a bit. But, you know, Bitcoin's been on this significant rally. And a lot of people talk about Bitcoin being a non-correlated asset, which means that it sort of moves up and down regardless of what the market's doing. But if you actually look at this chart, it fell into the March market lows because I guess there was a crisis of confidence, or at least people needed cash. So it's actually got a chart that's actually reasonably correlated to what the Nasdaq's been doing. But I think that might not hold true. I mean, there's election volatility ahead, and I guess there are some risks out there for the market that Bitcoin might not experience. Now, that may not prove to be the case, but it's just a theory of mine. And currently, Bitcoin in US dollars is sitting around 12,000. So that's a 16-month high if you go back on the long-term chart. So I'll just get rid of these. The chart looks a bit nicer. So if you go back 5 years, you can see some potential resistance, which it's sort of threatening to punch through there. And I guess the next point to attack would be this bar on the 18th of June. So, you know, there could be there was a big spike there on the weekly, and it got as high as about 14,000. And I guess if it can puncture that, then you'll start looking at these potential points of resistance up here. But I'll just pivot back to the PayPal move. So PayPal's new service is a $50 billion stimulus check for Bitcoin. So that's a Forbes article. And then there's another article here from CoinDesk which says, well, maybe the PayPal rally isn't what you think it is. So I'd encourage you to check out that article as well. But I guess it all comes back to the point I was making in yesterday's article, which is that new money is on the horizon, and this means that, you know, if you're a big fan of gold, hate quantitative easing, low rates, and you're wary of Chinese debt, well, you know, all roads lead to Bitcoin, I joke. So I guess that's what's happening in the world of crypto at the moment. And I'll just finally draw your attention, because this is the BTC USD pair, you also have to consider the relative strength of the US dollar. So this is the DXY here. So this is the dollar index, which is important to keep an eye on. As you can see, it looks to have found some support somewhere around here. So I guess the weakness of the US dollar could be playing into the appeal of Bitcoin. And so as the DXY has slid down the charts, the Bitcoin price has moved up the charts. So there's some very interesting things going on in the world of money, and I'd encourage you to read the 2 articles. You can find yesterday's article in the video description below. You can also find today's article where I talk a bit more about this theme, and you can also find a link to Exponential Stock Investor where we actually have a specific crypto holding in our, I guess, portfolio of stocks and crypto. So it's an interesting service. I'd highly encourage you to check that out. And if you like today's video, please subscribe. And I hope you have a safe week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.